Hi, everyone. Happy Easter. This is going to be about single mothers and how can they teach their children, or if they should teach their children faith, spirituality, religion. You know, today is Easter. I just said Happy Easter. So today is Easter. And I think that my son's only 2, so he doesn't really know too much of anything about religion yet because, of course, I haven't really, taught him that. Um, this live stream, before I continue, if you're new to my channel, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. If you've been subscribed to my channel, thank you for staying loyal and staying a part of the fam, okay? I'm going to be doing members only live streams. This one isn't one. I turned off the members only live chat. So what I'm going to do sometimes is I'm going to do live streams. You're not going to be able to chat in them unless you're a member. But today's Easter, so I wanted everybody, even my subscribers, my regular subscribers, to be able to come into the live chat because it is one of those good type of conversations. And so anyway, one thing that I've noticed as a grown woman has been that when I've been dating men, the pattern that I've seen is that when I end up having issues inside of a relationship or a friendship, a lot of times I'm dealing with someone who doesn't have any faith, who doesn't have a religion, who doesn't believe in God. And I know a lot of atheists out there are going to be like, not all people who are atheists are bad. Rah, 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 rah. But people who don't believe in God or don't have a religion have very different principles than the average person that does. So as we're walking through this lifestyle and we're doing whatever it is that we, are taught to do or whatever would make us happy, a lot of times we make poor decisions, not just in choosing people, but poor decisions when we are, trying to decide what we should do or shouldn't do or what we should respond to or shouldn't respond to. Now, I know for my channel, I've come off as very spiritual, very godlike, and then other times you can't even get me to stop using some profanity, okay? Like, I remember before YouTube went through its whole little, like, ad apocalypse, I could cuss, I could say to just anything, because YouTube was like, do what you want, say what you want, it's YouTube. And then now it's like, you got to be careful. Like, some people can't even say the coronavirus on their damn, channel. But for me, I've been trying to be a little bit more because I'm maturing. So I'll be 40 in June, which is almost disappointing to me because I can't do anything for my birthday. Because my 40th birthday to me was supposed to be that thing. You understand what I'm saying? And now I can't go do what I wanted to do. I did want to go to Hawaii for my birthday, and no traveling for me. I will not be traveling to Hawaii in June 1st. And so as I'm getting older, a lot of the stuff that I used to do, it seems immature to me. Like, it seems like not worth the energy. A lot of, responding knee jerk responses to things that other people do. And so, like I said a minute ago, a lot of the relationships that I had that were, tumultuous or they had a lot of turmoil was because the person that I was with didn't have an extreme, faith in God or some type of religion. And I did not require that from the person that I was dating because to me, I have faith in God. I pray, I meditate, and a lot of people don't even know that about me, which is odd if you've been watching my channel because I always talk about how I'm, pray all the time and I meditate all the time. And so, um, when I've been getting inside of these relationships, of course, the first thing I've been deciding to do is pray. Like, I used to pray for men all the time. Like, when I was like in my early 20s and I had just stopped being a minister, I used to be a minister. So when I stopped ministering, I still used to pray for my husband, pray that God send me the right guy. And then after a while, I stopped praying to God to send me the right guy because I felt like what I needed to be praying God about was the resilience to, be strong and be the type of wife and girlfriend I needed to be, and that I could continue to trust God to send me the right person or the person that I needed to, teach me a lesson or do whatever. So I discontinued saying, God, send me the right guy. It began to be, God, can you please just give me the strength and give me the tools I need in order to have a healthy relationship. So even though I switched to that for a long time, after I stopped being Christian, because I was Christian for a long time, but now I'm Buddhist. And so the reason why I decided to stop being Christian, I have videos up about this, but the reason why I stopped being Christian was because I used to have nightmares, like night terrors. Now, I've had nightmares most of my life. So having a regular nightmare is nothing normal because that's usually what I do when I'm stressed or when I'm trying to get over something or some type of emotions are, bubbling up in me or I need to rest. I have nightmares. But when I was Christian, I would have nightmares where it would feel like I would be leaving my body and I would see myself sleeping in the bed and I would see like demons come into the room and I would have to fight the demons off and I was consistently in like spiritual warfare. And being in that spiritual warfare, only when I dreamt was driving me crazy because I would literally go to sleep and while I'd be sleeping, I would have this dream. Like, here's a reoccurring dream I'm gonna share with you guys. I used to have this dream that I lived in this beautiful big mansion, right? And I would always have people over to my house. Now, that's not far fetched because I'm the type of person I love having dinner parties. I always live well. When I'm have myself together, I'm living in a big beautiful house, so it's not far fetched. So this is another problem that I had with my dreams because my dreams seem so real because they really mimic my life. They're not like some outlandish, crazy dreams. It seems so real. And so I was living in this beautiful big house and I had some people over to my house. And I kept telling people, don't go into my basement. Okay, don't go into my basement. Whatever you do, don't go into my basement. Now, in California, most houses don't have basements. But in Washington, D.C., where I'm originally from, and in Georgia, houses have basements. Okay, certain houses. And so I used to be like, don't go into to my basement. And my basement was like attached to my kitchen. So when people would come into my kitchen to get drinks or food, there was like this door like next to the fridge, and I was just like, or the stove, and I would just be like, please don't go through this door. So they would. One time I was in the kitchen. Okay, now this is the dream, the reoccurring dream. One time I was in the kitchen, and one of my friends decided to go down into the kitchen without me knowing. It was like my back was turned, and suddenly everybody stops moving because they hear my friend who decided to go downstairs screaming. And he's downstairs screaming, and none of us can open the door. Like, we're reaching for the door to go down and get him, but we can't open the door. And then finally, the door just releases itself, and my friend comes out. And when my friend comes out, my name is carved into his leg, like scratched, like someone took a knife and carved my name into their legs, both of their legs, and their legs are bleeding and my name is in my friend's legs. This was a reoccurring dream, and every friend that went down there, and it was never the same friend. It was always a different friend that went down there. Female, male, white, black, didn't matter. Every time I had this dream, the same dream, it would be a different person. And so it always felt like to me that something was calling me to Christianity, but it was something negative. So as I'm sitting here and I'm having dreams about demons and all types of just negative stuff, and it will only happen when I would consistently be in prayer. Because I would go into my prayer closet and I would just pray and pray and pray. Some days I would be in my prayer closet for 2 hours and I would pray and pray and pray and pray. And when I would get out my closet later on that day, I would have a nightmare. But I noticed a pattern where when I stopped praying and I stopped reading the Bible, that night I wouldn't have any nightmares. So I started to realize that um, maybe Christianity wasn't for me. And there are different religions out there, and maybe I just needed to pick another religion, not necessarily get rid of Christianity or get rid of having faith in general. Okay, so I took the message as, Soncerae, you're having all of these nightmares because you're supposed to be doing something different. Okay, and trying to be Christian in the city of Atlanta was very difficult as well, because being Christian while living in Washington D.C. or in Maryland, um, people are different about religion. It's a different type of place, and it's not like it's a church on every corner. During that time when I was living there, when I grew up there, it wasn't a church on every corner. You understand? It wasn't like you see the church and then across the street is a liquor store, or right next to the church is a strip club. But that's the way Atlanta's built. So when I came to Atlanta, everything was different in Atlanta. And like I said, I have some stories about when I first moved to Atlanta. I have some videos up about how, my religion was tested in Atlanta, definitely. And being in Atlanta really, really helped me see how different people were, how demonic a lot of people were. And I spent 17 years in Atlanta, and I don't know how I stayed there that long. But I ended up no longer ministering in Atlanta. I almost wish I didn't go to Atlanta, because had I not went to Atlanta, I probably would have stayed a minister. I probably would have still did that. But Atlanta tested my faith, in Christianity and Jesus and everything. Now I'm Buddhist, right? And for me, Buddhism is a lot um, more, I want to say, realistic to me, because of the teachings. Now, one of the teachings that I have, that I'm taught, sorry, not that I have, one of the teachings that I'm taught in Buddhism is that we are not supposed to have a deity, meaning we're not supposed to have faith in God. But me, I have a faith in a higher power. So when I use the term God, when I'm talking to other people, a lot of people believe that I'm talking about Jesus. And if I don't talk about God, and this is just only on YouTube, if I don't talk about God, people think that I must be atheist, or, I don't believe in anything. But it's just a big ball of confusion, because when I start talking about God, I don't mean Jesus. To me, Jesus and God are two separate things. But to the Christian, to someone who's Christian, they believe God and Jesus are the same. And even with me being Christian when I was one, I understood the difference between Jesus and God. I always understood as a Christian that Jesus was God's son, and we are all God's children, and Jesus was just, you know, I want to say, I don't, because right now my Christian belief has me looking at Christianity. I mean, my Buddhist belief has me looking at Christianity very different than I used to. But to me, Jesus, and I think people are going to be like, what? When I say this, they're going to be like, excuse me. You know how we have like spiritual leaders, like maybe a Deepak Chopra, or like a Martin Luther King, or, those type of, that's who Jesus is to me. That's what Jesus is. And even though Jesus is someone that everyone knows around the world, a lot of people don't um, know that he was actually real. So you have to think about, okay, because I wasn't there, is Jesus real? There's no evidence of Jesus. But if I look back, there's evidence of Martin Luther King, and there's evidence of someone like the Dalai Lama, or, so it's different. I said to my daughter, I was talking to her about the Bible the other day, and I told her to think about who wrote the Bible. Who wrote the Bible? The Bible was written by writers and poets. The best writers and poets around the time King James was king. And the Bible is the King James version of the Bible. So if the best writers and poets out right now decided to sit down and rewrite the Bible, later on, decades from now, that book that we put together right now for people would be their Bible. They would probably throw out the King James Bible altogether. To me, the King James version of the Bible is so outdated. It was created for a different set of people at a different time. And we have evolved so much as people. I think that that Bible should be, not, I don't want to say thrown out, because I don't want to disrespect someone who's Christian. But it's so outdated. So just like when King James decided to get a lot of poets, the best poets and the best writers together to write the Bible, um, I think that we should do that now and create a whole new script. I think that even though the Bible was written by the best writers and the best poets who had some sort of faith, in Christianity, I still believe that there could have been some malicious intent attached to those writings. So when people have so much faith in those writings because they believe that it's God's word, right? You still have to factor in that were some people around King James who were writers and poets who participated in the creation of the Bible that were malicious. Okay, just like people who translate the Bibles, we got the NJV. Different translations of the Bible could be misinterpreted. So when you're talking about teaching this type of thing to your children, this is when it becomes like something serious and something you really really need to think about. And so as a single mom, and I'm sitting here not married, right? Knowing that in Christianity they teach you to be married and then have kids. Well, society likes that order of operations in general, even though it doesn't bring success. Because a lot of people be like, if you get married first and then have kids later, you have more success. No, because it's still divorce. Like, people don't understand. If a husband and father are two separate roles. Okay, they're not the same role. And a lot of times, when a man abandons his children, most of the time it has something to do with his character, not his relationship status. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes a man will show you that he will be the best father. A lot of times, men are the best father when they have an attachment to the mom, you know? But most fathers who are good fathers will love their kids regardless to whether they love the moms. So, in a religion like Christianity, it's very difficult for me to teach, and a single mom in general, to teach a child Christianity when I'm not Christian, number one. But I can only imagine what single mothers are thinking when people try to push on them that church is the place that they're supposed to go because they're a single mom. Like, if we look at a lot of the black churches, we see a lot of single mothers in these churches. Now, I'm talking about in the churches in Atlanta, because in Washington, D.C., where I'm originally from, like I said, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, when I would go into a black church, most of the women in there were married. Okay, it wasn't a lot of single mothers. They weren't hoarding single mothers. So when I see people make like videos about how church is like the place that creates single mothers or makes single mothers single, because they saying stuff like Jesus is my husband, Jesus is my father, stuff like that. I think a lot of men, when I look on the YouTube and I hear men talk about, or just men in general talk about, single mothers, they always depict church as being like this thing that is bad, or I don't know, is it helping a single mom? Now, if you're a single mom, right, and you have children and you want to teach them faith, this is what I suggest you would do. Now, I don't feel like I did this with my 19-year-old daughter. That's why I'm going to do it with my son, because I see how my daughter turned out when it came time for us to do church and stuff like that. So my daughter's 19, right? My daughter, I don't care how many times I took her to church or her father took her to church, my daughter was not buying it. She was like, like, this sounds ridiculous in my mind. My daughter could not comprehend the concept of the Holy Trinity. It's just she wasn't feeling it. She didn't like to see people doing the Holy Ghost. She thought that was fake. She just didn't like the stuff that was being said. She was just like, I am good on this. Now, I started taking my daughter to church too late. And that's what it was. I started taking her to church when she was in middle school. That's not when you're supposed to start taking your kid to church. My mother only took me to church on Easter when I was a kid. I started going to church on my own in middle school by myself. Okay, my mother didn't encourage me to go to church except for on Easter. And so when I got in middle school, the church was right up the street from the house. So I just started walking to church, like just naturally. Like, I just had like this instinct to go to church. So I went to church Sundays. I went to choir rehearsal. I went to Bible study. I went to revivals without anybody having to tell me this. And I did this in middle school. So in middle school, I did this. high school. This is what made me become a minister, because I just had a natural inkling to do it. So I guess because I started in middle school, I believe that I should start taking my daughter to church while she was in middle school. This was a big mistake. You're supposed to teach your kids this when you're trying to teach them how to read. Okay, I mean, far back as when you're trying to teach them how to talk. Okay, because those principles and those guidelines are something that needs to be placed inside of them before then. Okay, now don't get it twisted. My daughter is still a good person. Cause even with me and her father trying to get her to go to church, I mean, literally, my son's father, not my son's father, which is weird. My son's father's name is Priest, and he is so demonic. Like, why is his name Priest? Anyways, my daughter's father, he used to take my daughter to church on New Year's, right? Like, I never used to go to church on New Year's. He used to go to church on New Year's. I used to just stay home. And he used to take her to church on New Year's, and that lets you know how much faith he has. He has more faith than me if he's walking into the church on New Year's. Like, I wouldn't go to a party unless I was paid to, because I was modeling, TV personality, stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll walk into a party if I'm getting some bread, but a New Year's Eve party if I'm getting some bread. But if I don't have nothing to do, like if I'm not getting paid, I'm gonna stay in the house New Year's, or maybe go to a house party. I don't do like clubs and stuff. Like I said, I'm the type of person, I love like dinner parties and stuff like that, house parties. Anyway, so when you're teaching your children like faith, there are a couple of things that you have to do that, I think, if you want to teach your children religion. Now, because I'm Buddhist, I have spiritual beliefs. I have metaphysics. Okay, metaphysics. Cause see, for me, I don't understand why one God is right and another God is wrong. Like, I don't get that. I don't get how one religion is the truth, but another person's religion isn't. When God made us all, you understand? I just don't understand that. And so for me, it's like feed your soul whatever it needs, regardless to what your religion is. If you're Muslim, if you're Catholic, if you're Baptist, if you're African Methodist, whatever it is, if you're Seventh-day Adventist, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, whatever it is, if it's feeding your soul and it's working for you, do it. And that's what I want to teach my kids as far as religion goes. Like, whatever religion you want to choose for you, choose it. But the only religion, and this is sad for me to say, but I gotta say this: the only religion I would suggest my kids not choose is Satanism. Satanism. And the funny thing is, as I was allowing my daughter to like explore what kind of religion she wanted to, be in, she was choosing stuff like, there was a time where my daughter had faith in Zeus. Yeah. Okay. Her father was getting scared when she had faith in Wicca. Like, we were trying to see where was she going with this. Like, she tried Greek mythology, she tried Wicca, stuff like that, and still, to me, like, my daughter has like this dark side. And I think it all has something to do with her being too open-minded as far as Satan goes. It's not even that she worships Satan, right? Of course she doesn't worship Satan, but she's like, well, I think God was just jealous of Satan. I was like, what? She's like, because, Satan was basically just doing his thing. Basically, he was thinking independently and went and did what he wanted to do. And, when she say it like that, it's like, oh, okay, because I'm the type of person I tell everybody to think independently. And so my daughter's like, I think God was just jealous because he wanted to control all the angels, and Satan was not having it. Lucifer just was like, listen, I don't like what I'm seeing happening here. I'm not feeling it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm like, oh my God, why do you defend Satan? She was like, because I don't think Satan was that bad. I was like, oh my God. Okay. All right. But I don't know anything about Satanism, and I don't want to judge anybody. I don't want to be that person. I try not to judge people because I can be very judgmental sometimes. I do say I do say this. It's not that I don't want you guys to be judgmental, but just don't misjudge, okay? Because a lot of people misjudge all of the time, and unnecessary drama comes out of that. So I don't want to judge anybody who believes in Satan, But I don't know a lot of people that believe in Satan. But to me, if you believe in Satan, it's some type of darkness with you. Okay, and maybe I just don't understand the religion enough to be talking about it. You know what I mean? But from what I'm seeing, Satanism is not necessarily the best religion to be teaching yourself or your kids. So anyway, um, I, as a Buddhist person, I'm talking to single mothers, single parents, single fathers. This is for you guys too, because I don't want you guys to think that because I'm doing single mom like videos that I'm forgetting all of the single fathers in this world. No, I'll have content up for you as well, and I'll do live streams for you as well. So just, subscribe, join membership, just stick with me because I got you, okay? Single fathers, you guys are important to me too. I'm about blended families. I'm about single parenting, and it's not a death sentence. A lot of people think that single parenting is a death sentence, but it isn't. So one of the things that that I teach my kids are universal principles and universal laws without you having to condemn somebody else's belief. That means you have to have value in what other people's opinions and beliefs are as far as this topic goes. It's such a sensitive topic that what you choose for yourself is still very personalized. So what you choose for yourself, you can't try to bestow on somebody else. And a lot of people try to bestow that shit on somebody else. And so it's funny, I just use profanity while I'm talking about religion. I told you I'm tripping. I don't know. I just do it. To me, using profanity isn't like against God, but it is harsh language. Like in Buddhism, they teach us not to use profanity. So I've really been working on it. Plus, I don't want my son to cuss. So I've been working on my profanity really, really well. So anyway, here are a couple of things that you can do in order to help teach your kids about religion and spirituality. Whether you're Buddhist, whether you are Muslim, whatever, none of that matters. We just want to teach our kids the fundamentals of being a good person and having a good character, right? And religion and spirituality and faith can help that. All right. So teaching your kids the universal principles and laws. Number one, lead by example. The type of person you are, lead by example. So that means be kind, don't lie, don't steal, don't hurt anybody, don't kill nobody. Okay, with my son, I want my son to understand that I need you to love people. Okay, not everybody, because they teach you to love everybody in religion, but some people you can't love. You could show them a level of compassion. You could be a little patient with them. You could be kind and do the right thing, but love them not so much. But try to love as many people as you can that you feel deserve your love. Because you came from love. You came from love. When me and your dad was together, mommy was all the way in love. You came out of love. And that's what I want my son to spread around the world. Love, not hate. Okay? Um, that's number one. Lead by example. Okay, number two, go to church. Okay, or the monastery or whatever. Wherever you go to worship, go there. Okay, take your children with you, and I mean at the earliest age, regardless of how complicated they are when you take them. Because a lot of people be like, I do not want to take my child to church because it's just too difficult. It's too hard. It's like they're jumping around, they're screaming in the middle of the they just jumping all over the place, screaming. I can't take them to the church. Okay? That's number one. Take them to fellowship with other people who believe what you believe as far as whatever. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Just whatever church, wherever you go to fellowship, temple, whatever it is, take your kids with you so they can fellowship with other people who believe what you believe. Okay? Next, pray with them. Teach them how to speak to Jesus or Muhammad or Sister Mary Clarence or Zeus or whoever. Okay? Teach your children how to pray. And in order for you to teach your children how to pray, you got to pray yourself. So, when I was young, the prayer that I was taught, and I believe everybody else was taught, was what? Two prayers. All right. Number one, God is grace and God is good. Now I thank you for our food. Bow our hands, something, something, something. Just something, something, our daily bread. Amen. All right. That was grace. All right. What was the nighttime prayer? Damn, why I can't remember that prayer? Um, oh, why I can't remember the nighttime prayer? I can't. I don't know why. I think it's because it's been so long. I'm gonna have to remember it before Justice start praying. What is it? Um, I forgot. why can't I see? Why can't I remember this prayer? Oh my god, I can't believe I don't remember this. Um, I can't. Oh my god, I don't know why I can't. That's a shame. Oh my god, I can't remember this prayer. Oh yeah. Now I lay me down to sleep. Thank you. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Amen. Okay, those are the basic prayers that you teach your kids. But with time, it should get a little bit more like in detail. Like I remember when grace changed, it was like, thank you, God, for this nourishment. Thank you for the lives that you allow us to live. Thank you for allowing my family to sit down and have such an amazing dinner together. Grandma done cooked up them sweet potato pie and the greens and the turkey necks. Thank you so much. It started becoming a little bit more, please no negativity in my chat. The reason why I turned the chat on, because I see someone named Pink Lady came in and said something crazy around 10:15, which was 15 minutes ago. If she's still in the chat, don't do negativity in my chat. I turned on the chat because it's Easter, not because it's no members. It's because it's Easter. I have members. It's Easter, and I felt like I should open the conversation to everybody. Okay, so I'll probably do that on holidays anyway. So if it's Thanksgiving and you see me doing a live stream and my chat is like wide open, that's why. It's because it's a holiday and I'm welcoming everybody to join the conversation. But just keep in mind that I will be doing memberships and it will be members only live chats. So you won't be able to chat unless you're a member. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, the next thing that you should do if you want to teach your children faith is give them make them watch Christian based movies and cartoons. Like, for instance, I tried to get my son to start watching VeggieTales, right? You know about VeggieTales? VeggieTales is Christian based. But one cartoon I saw was extra. It was almost teaching him about like fire and brimstone and shit. I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm good on this. My mother was like, I don't think you should let him watch VeggieTales. And the thing is, my mother is Christian. Listen, when she found out I was Buddhist, she was like, I didn't teach you that. You know what I mean? She is really Christian, and she was like, do not turn on VeggieTales because it's I don't know what episode she was watching, but she just didn't like what they were teaching. It was weird. But yeah, make sure your children watch Christian-based movies and cartoons. Okay. Another thing that you do is read the children's Bible to them, or read whatever children's version that they give you in relation to whatever religion you are, because I'm pretty sure each religion, hopefully, each religion that you get in has a children's version of it, right? Every religion, like, it would make sense. Like Muslims, the Book of Quran, there's a children's version of Quran, right? Hopefully, I mean, I've never seen it, but hopefully, right? If that's what you believe in, personally, I would believe in only a religion that would allow me to have my family included, not really in a cult like type of thing, like Scientology, to where you'll be excommunicated if you decide not to be in the religion anymore. That's foolishness. I mean, like, if there's no children's version of your religion, I'd be a little worried. That's just my, you know. Another thing, I did this with Dominique. Volunteer work. Volunteer work, okay? Volunteer work at the church, at any charity. I did that with my daughter. It helped build character. Um, we did volunteer work every weekend. Um, and like Sundays, we would do catering to the homeless events. We would bring, I have footage of that too on my channel as well. We would bring like food, toiletries. We would bring barbers and hairstylists to come and cut hair and do hair. We would bring clothes, and it would be so many people doing it. It would be more than enough resources there, and enough homeless people there. In the city of Atlanta, it's a lot of homelessness. So it was like when we would do these events, it would be so many people out there. It would be like a bouncy castle out there, a lot of stuff. But I used to do that with these two organizations. One was called Simply United Together, and another one was called Doing Good in the Hood. And those are the two places, two charitable organizations that I worked with that I used to bring my kids around, and there would be other kids there, and it just teaches your kids kindness. Like I said, you want to teach your kids the universal principles and laws, and that's what I did. Let's see, what's the next thing, because I have a list. Put display faith-based artwork and decorations in your home. Okay, you ever walked into your grandma's house? She got black Jesus up there, just you know, you see little shepherds, little porcelain shepherds on the mantle over the fireplace, stuff like that. Put those things. I personally, in my house, right, I don't put Christian based stuff up, right? Of course, I got Buddha. I have my signs. I haven't worn a necklace since priest gave me a necklace. My son's father gave me a necklace, and it had the symbol on it, because I'm Buddhist. And I haven't worn a necklace since then. Um, that's something that I'm dealing with him and my faith and stuff like that. So that's a whole other story. But I would say wear that type of jewelry. My Yaora merchandise, if you like faith-based merchandise, go check out my Yaora site. I sell merchandise with positive quotes and stuff like that on it. That's the type of stuff I would do. Like, I know you've been to Family Dollar. And matter of fact, it's in Target too, I think. In Family Dollar, they have like these signs that you can put on your wall or stick to your wall, like letters that you can stick to your wall. They have like these quotes about faith and love and stuff like that. Do that. I have that all over my house. Um, so it's I try not to be like religious-y, because I don't want my kids to think, they have to be the religion I am. But at the same time, I feel like I have to be strict about having faith in general. So I tell my kids, believe in God. My son, I'm going to be like, believe in God, believe in a higher power, respect that higher power, regardless to what religion you choose. Just respect the higher power. Because like I said, I don't understand why one God is right and another God is wrong, and one religion is truth and the other one is not. I don't believe that. I believe everybody gets to choose a different path, just like each of us have a different race. Each of us are brought up different. Each of us have a different culture. So I just feel like with my kids, I can't teach them that it's only one, way to do things. So yeah, that's it. That is all. Happy Easter to everybody. I know a lot of you are upset because you can't go to church. I've been wanting to go to church. This non-denominational church up the street is called Three Crosses. It's not really up the street. It's kind of far, but I like it. I think it's like I think it's I say up the street. I think it's I want to say 45 minutes away. 45 minutes away, so it's not technically up the street to you guys. It's up the street to me because as much as I drive around the Bay, the Bay is so big. Like, you got north, south, east, west. You got San Francisco, then you cross over the bridge at Oakland on the other side, and everywhere you go, it's like a 45-minute ride. Put it that way, because everything is so spread. California is big. Okay, they have actually shut off the highway we would take from Northern California to go down to Los Angeles. Is closed, so we can't even travel south. They're like separating us. People can't come up here from like Los Angeles, LA County, and we can't go down here. So That's interesting, right? Well, it makes sense. To stop it from spreading, you kind of got to. I got a news flash yesterday while I was riding around doing deliveries, because you know, you guys, I do food deliveries to the quarantined. And so I got a news flash. And the news flash said that the coronavirus was here in San Francisco in early May, early December, before the breakout in Wuhan. I was like, excuse me? I was like, yeah, just go Google it. The damn coronavirus was here before, and people were dying from it before. And that just blew my mind altogether. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing blows my mind. When I see these Chinese people attack African people because they believe that African people are the ones that brought it to Wuhan, is weird to me, when the entire world believes that it was created in China. So I just don't understand how Chinese people could be feeling themselves in a way to where they are treating Africans as bad as they are, because they're evicting Africans. They're doing all types of terrible stuff, and it just surprises me. And it shouldn't. That all over the world, people have like this disdain for Africans or African American people. And it's just sad to see to me. I mean, I'm even seeing people of my own race have disdain for their own race. And it's just like, why is it all over the world African American people are classified as the worst, or African or darker people are classified as the worst people in the world? And that's bothers me so much. Yesterday, speaking of Chinese people, yesterday I was doing a pickup from Safeway. Now, when I do a pickup from Safeway, usually this person's groceries are already packaged and everything. They're already in the bags. All I got to do is pick them up and put them in my trunk. With Walmart will bring it out in these carts to you. But with Safeway, you have to go in there with a cart and get it yourself. Right? So, and in front of Safeway and Walmart, they have these spots, these parking spots with numbers on it. Right? And so I'm sitting in the spot waiting for my daughter to come back out, because I sent her in to go get the groceries. So she comes out, she has all the groceries, and another woman comes and asks me, can she have our cart? Because they're having like a cart shortage. So we take all the stuff out of the cart, we give the lady my cart, or the cart that my daughter's had. So I get in the passenger seat of the car. I get in the driver's seat of the car. Sorry. I look over to the passenger seat because I'm thinking my daughter is going to get in. It is a car so close to my car that there is no way humanly possible anybody could walk through there. Not even a skinny person. And I'm thinking, how the hell did this lady get into this space so close to my car? Now, mind you, she just pulled in. I'm surprised the side view mirrors didn't hit my car. So she pulls up next to me, and she's so close. She tries to get out the car. She's like, I can't get out the car. I'm like, ma'am, you have to back up. So as I'm telling her, I'm looking at her. She can't hear me because the window's up, right? My daughter out there, though. And my daughter's saying, ma'am, you just pulled into a space that's so tight, you can't get out the car, and I can't get in. So you either got to pull out and go to another space, because clearly this is a compact space. Now, this lady's Asian, right? She got a mask on. My daughter has on a mask. I don't have on a mask because I wasn't getting out the car. My daughter was, to go get to the deliveries. So my daughter's standing outside, and she's telling the lady, you parked too close. You're not going to be able to get out of the car. And so everybody is starting to build a crowd, because it's people out there. They're looking at us. It's a line out there. It's people, it's people. So people are looking like, why is this lady so close? It's another couple next to me, and they're white and older. but they're a space over because it's two handicap spaces next to me. So it's two handicap spaces. Okay, put it like this. It's the grocery store. And the driveway where the grocery store is, a handicap space where the couple is, the old couple, another handicap space that's empty, then me. Then this lady who is right up on me, right? So everybody's watching and they're like, what? This lady is opening the car door and it's hitting my car and she is cussing my ass out. Like I did something to her. Meanwhile, everybody that's watching us is like, lady, you the one that parked in that tight ass space, knowing that you couldn't fit. So I tell my daughter, move out the way, and I start trying to back up. This lady was so close to me, even she was so close to me that the backside of her car was turned into my car. So I'm backing up. Thank God I wasn't in the Tesla or the Lexus. I'm backing up. I scraped the sides of both of our cars. So I go back because I can't go back in reverse. I gotta go and drive back forward. Older guy in the handicap space that was sitting there with his wife gets out and directs me. Because for some reason, no matter how many of us keep telling this woman that she needs to back out, she's not listening. She's just trying to get out the car. And we're like, you can't get out the car. Close the door. I rolled the window down like, lady, close the door. Like we're trying to let you out. She was like, no, I think you hit my car. I'm like, I'm not debating whether I hit your car or not. The problem is, in order for you to get out, one of us has to move and you're not moving. I'm not moving because I want to see the damage to my car. And we're like, lady, you can't see the damage to your car until you shut the door and pull the car out or let me pull the car out. Shut the door. So everybody's just like, shut the door, shut the door, shut the door. And this lady's not listening to none of us. Just this Asian lady, just mad. Starts cussing at me. I was like, lady, do not use profanity with me. Because if you use profanity with me, I'm going to hop out this car. We're going to have a problem. You need to relax and calm down. She was like, give me your license. Give me your insurance. I was like, this lady's not listening. So this white guy, this older white guy with a cane, he starts directing me out. So finally I get out the space and I pull out to the handicap space next to us to look at both of our cars. And she takes pictures of her car. She's still trying to debate with me whose fault it is. She was like, I'm in the line. I was in my line. I was like, I was in my line too. But what you have to understand is I'm in a little Toyota. You're in a big ass minivan. Why would you put your big ass minivan in this compact space? Does that make any sense? And she's like, no, I'm in the line. You know how Chinese people talk. I'm in my line. This is not my fault. And everyone's like, yes, it is your it is your fault. I'm like, but I'm not gonna. She was scared I was gonna drive off and not give her my insurance information. That's why she wasn't trying to let me move. But what everybody was trying to explain to her is that I wasn't going to drive off and leave my daughter. My daughter couldn't get in the car. So I was going to drive off and just leave my daughter out front of Safeway with her. Like, and that's what my daughter was saying. My daughter was like, my mother is not that type of person. She's not just going to drive off. If you let her pull out, close the door, let her pull out. And so this lady wanted to argue, and then she was arguing with me, and everybody's like arguing with her, telling her to listen to what's being said to her. And she's going, I'm not going to argue with you. You are arguing. Like, you're arguing in the middle of the fucking parking lot. Everybody's telling you you're wrong. It's a damn pandemic. Everybody got on a damn mask. Bitch, I just want to drive off. Listen, I just want to give you my insurance card. So I'm like, do you have an email address? Do you have something I can text it to you? Because I want to text you my insurance card. Send me your insurance card. I want to see your insurance card. Okay. Give me your email address or text. Do you have any of that? I just want you to give me your insurance card. I'm like, oh my God. This lady's not listening to shit I'm talking about. I was like, oh Lord, lady. So finally, she gave me her email address and I sent it to her. She was like, let me see your license. I said, bitch, let me tell you something. And I said this like flat out. I was like, had you been a little nicer, maybe I would have given you my license. But at this point, I'm just going to drive off and leave you standing here by yourself. You have my insurance information. That's all you need. Don't ask me for my damn license. And she was like, no, 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 no. You the one that's rude. I was like, yes, 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 yes. You're the one that's rude. I was like, rude, 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 rude. People was laughing at me. I was like, lady, you are so, right now. This is just crazy. I just couldn't believe I was having like this horrible experience with this lady. Hey, Jasmine Ellis. I made a live stream about you the other day. I was talking about that comment that you made in my comment section about the order of operations. So I'm probably going to do a video for you, Jasmine, about the order of operations as far as first come love, then come marriage, then come the baby and the baby carriage. Yeah, you were talking about how if people get married first, they are more likely to have success, and it's better than getting pregnant with some guy after 90 days. And I do want you to understand that I peeped your slick shade because you was trying to shade me for my miracle baby coming within 90 days of me meeting my son's father. Yeah, I peeped that. Um, I always tell people, when you come at me, this is what gets people blocked, and a lot of people don't understand that. When we're having a topic of conversation and I tend to use my life as an example, like maybe I'll tell you a story about something that I experienced. The reason why I'm giving you an example is so that you can understand what's being said to you. Okay? It isn't an opportunity for you to have your opinion and then speak directly to me in an attacking manner or try to shade me or diss me or something. What you're supposed to do with that information is attack the topic. Attack the topic that's being spoken about, not me. And it gets a lot of people blocked. My moderators don't like it. The fam does not like it. People inside of my fam, and I don't mean I mean my YouTube fam. My YouTube fam does not like it. Hashtag the fam does not like it. They be emailing me like, who are these people that keep coming in the comment section, blah, blah, blah. I get emails of people complaining about that. So that's why, another reason why I was deciding to cut off my chat and do it members only chat. Because usually when I'm dealing with people who are part of the fam, who are members of my family on YouTube, they're a lot more respectful even if they disagree with me. I have no problem with someone disagreeing with my perspective because it's mine, and I encourage you guys to be independent thinkers regardless of the topic of conversation. If we're talking about spirituality, religion, kids, marriage, whatever it is, it's okay for you to have a opposite opinion of mine, but attacking me is when it becomes like a problem. And these be trigger topics. These be trigger topics we be talking about. Like, to me, I don't think first come love, then come marriage, then come baby, and the baby carriage is necessarily going to bring you success. Because if you go on to Facebook, and I said this before, go onto Facebook and join these single mother groups. It's a lot of them out there. These single mother support groups, regardless to what gender, I mean, what race, okay, what ethnicity these women are. Most of these women that are single mothers, they've been married and they've gotten divorced. And these men are not taking care of their kids. Divorced. You know, they're having to beg for child support. And then some of these women are getting child support checks, and them child support checks be like $100. So, as far as people thinking that child support is a come up, or that if women get married first, they'll have success in their relationships, yeah, that's not even necessarily true, you know. Listen, this is Jasmine Ellis. This is another thing. So, two things. You said my comment wasn't disrespectful at all. Okay, number one, it isn't up to you to determine what is disrespectful or uncomfortable to me. But when you are in my space, right, in my world, watching my videos and my live streams or on my side of the internet, if I'm telling you that something that you've done and or said is disrespectful towards me and I don't like it and it's uncomfortable, then don't do it. Instead of you trying to convince me that your comment wasn't disrespectful. Your comment wasn't disrespectful to you. But in my space over here, the topic of single motherhood is a very sensitive topic. And I'm tired of people coming over to this platform who aren't single mothers themselves and making this space uncomfortable mothers that are here. That's why we are so like selective about what we allow in my comment section, because this is supposed to be a space for women to feel comfortable, where we're supposed to be sitting here, uh, helping each other, giving each other resources and advice. So when people that don't have kids come over here, or people who are married, or judgmental people come over here and they have something to say about whatever it is that we're doing or whatever it is that we're experiencing, I prefer that you talk about the topic. If you attack the topic, don't attack the person. And so a lot of people, because this is my channel, they come over here and they talk about me. They slick diss me because I'm a single mother, or because of the situation that happened with me and my son's father. Like, a lot of people blame me for why my son's father decided to abandon his own child. So they come into my comment section and they say like little disrespectful stuff. That's number one. Number two, you said, that's not what I said. I said you have better odds. I said you said that. I said that you feel like there will be a better outcome if you get married first, right? That's what you said. You said, why is that stuck like that? You said, can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me? Top chat, live chat. I hope you can hear me. That's what you said. You said that it's better odds if, hold up, oops. It's better odds if you get married first. And that's not necessarily true, because it's a lot of divorced women out there. So I'm saying you said what you're saying you said. We agree on that. We are agreeing that you said that. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm discussing my intent. Well, you could have left out. Here's my point. You could have left out. You could have left out the bullshit that you said about the 90 days, having a baby in 90 days. You didn't have to add that. You could have left what you were saying and left it at that. That's when it became disrespectful, because you refused to leave it at where it was. You had to put on that extra little, let me slick diss Soncerae at the bottom. You could have just left it as, oh, if you get married first, it's more success. The odds of the odds of this man abandoning his child are low because, you guys got married first. You could have left it at that. But you specifically brought up what happened between me and my son's father. See, here's what I want people to understand. There are people out there that have gotten married, all right? Matter of fact, I'm just going to start up a new live stream. So if you're listening to this live stream, I'm going to shut this live stream off because for some reason my face is frozen. And I'm going to start up another live stream to talk about the order of operations, okay? And we'll just handle it that way. And Jasmine, you could come into um, that live stream if you want to. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know what you're saying, Kevin, but Kevin Paris internal, come into the next live stream. I'm going to shut this one off and then start another one. Okay, I'll see y'all there.